Great to have you join us on NTA Nationwide. I am Ifeanyi Okafor. As the nation heads to experience a democratic transition, the need for patriotic citizens to set and monitor agenda for the leadership has been identified as a spur for real change to occur. This was the focus of discussions at a public forum organized by Luxterra Leadership Foundation held in Abuja with the theme Nigerian Democratic Transition, One More Opportunity for Real Change. Justin Ebonyi tells us more.
The public forum was called to brainstorm on not only what the incoming government must do, but also the pathway Nigerians must follow to achieve the change the country clamors for. Convener of the forum, Reverend Father George Ahusani, identified key areas where the government must pay utmost attention to include securing the northeastern states from the menace of Boko Haram, bringing an end to impunity and encouraging unity in the society. Also pointed to was the reduction of cost of governance, fighting corruption and the power sector improvement.
We have the rare opportunity today of being the fathers and mothers of a new Nigeria, the architects and engineers of a new Nigeria, the artisans and the quality control agents of a new Nigeria, of united, disciplined, industrious, peace-loving and prosperous citizens.
Contributions from resource persons maintained that change is not all about reshuffling leadership of the country, but entails an overall positive attitudinal change by the citizens in their approach to responsibilities, daily lifestyles, change of values and orientation.
If you fight corruption, every other thing will fall in place.
The forum also challenged Nigerians to ask questions and hold leaders accountable for an effective administration of the various organs of state. In Abuja, Justin Ebonyi, NTA News.
Increased transparency and diversification of the Nigerian economy have been identified as main drivers of development growth of the nation. This formed part of suggestions for the incoming administration by guests on NTA program Good Morning Nigeria, who also suggested that growth should be inclusive in the country. Amina Nujem has details.
Nigeria has been rated the fastest growing economy in Africa. Statistics have it that the Nigerian economy is on track to becoming one of the largest economies in the world by 2020 in view of the performance of the non-oil sector. Monday's edition of Good Morning Nigeria looked critically at various sectors of the Nigerian economy with a view to setting agenda for the incoming administration. Guests on the program, however, say that there is a major disconnect between growth in the economy and physical development.
Development of other sectors, diversification, very importantly, diversification and a move away from over-dependence on oil, it's crucial.
90% of our export is oil-based. Meanwhile, we are having some improvement in the services sector.
If we look at the economy as it is now, what we need to address critically in the power sector, for me, because unless you address the issue of the power sector, all other things you just be grappling with them.
The role of foreign direct investment remains significant in Nigeria's economy. Guests called on government and the private sector to target the promotion of local content to attract foreign direct investment.
The foreign investment that comes into a country is dependent upon the perception of the investors.
Encouraging just FDIs alone, we need to ensure that the local entrepreneurs are put forward.
When the local economy is energized towards investing and producing in itself, others will want to come and join at your own terms.
Bridging the education gap to meet the current entrepreneur needs was also agreed by discussants. In Abuja, Amina Nujem, NTA News.
Available statistics from the last elections into the National Assembly indicates that the number of women that made it to the parliament has reduced drastically. Unlike the 7th Assembly, where the women in the Senate were 7 and 24 in the House of Representatives, women in the 8th National Assembly are 24. This is made up of 8 in the Senate and 16 in the House of Representatives. National Assembly correspondent Aisha Tuzango Abdullahi spoke to some female legislators on their expectations.
Turnover is a common occurrence in the Nigerian parliament. Whenever this occurs, women are usually worse hit. Some of the newly elected female legislators say even though their population has been reduced based on the statistics presented during the induction course for newly elected legislators, their spirit is not dampened.
The legislative agenda will still remain the same, that is the girl-child education. And secondly, which will be more paramount, the issue of the Boko Haram, and thank God the military has taken over the remaining 2 local government. And the expectation is how do we bring about development.
I believe we'll be able to work together to promote women, and we'll make sure that our voices are being heard, so that will give women more chances.
Issues that have to do with the maternal and the girl child education, those are normal things that we as women have to make sure that they are brought on stream.
When you see the life of a woman, we are covered by secrecy. The secrecy of who we are and the secrecy of the things we have upstairs.
Some of them share their experiences during the electioneering process.
We did our election in Canada, so during the electioneering campaigns, we didn't find it easy actually, because for people that are already depressed, to go and start talking to them about politics, it was something that was really heartbreaking, but we had no option, and we thank God that they understood with us and they voted us into power.
In Abuja, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi.
The National Working Committee, NWC, of the People's Democratic Party has constituted a post-election assessment committee to review and evaluate the performance of the PDP in the just concluded 2015 general elections and make recommendations for the repositioning of the party. Membership of the committee is as follows: Senator Ike Ekweremadu, Chairman; Governor Godswill Akpabio; Governor Theodore Oji; Governor Ibrahim Hassan Dankwambo, and 11 others, with Senator Walid Jubril as Secretary. A statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Chief Olisa Metu, indicates that the committee is to be inaugurated on Tuesday, 5th of this month. Now, a few days to the UK general elections, with political campaigns stepped up, the impact and strength of the Nigerians in the development and politics in the United Kingdom has been brought to the fore. Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye reports.
Nigerians resident in the UK, issues of the economy, housing, health and welfare, to mention a few, takes a backseat to immigration and employment. As they say, Nigerians and ethnic minorities have a tough time getting good jobs. Which way will the pendulum then swing for the Nigerians?
We will have those who would, want to vote the Conservative back into government, but I believe that Nigerians will sway towards their traditional voting party.
Mayor of Lambeth and chairman of the 45 British Nigerian councillors in the UK, Councillor Adedamola Aminu, on a recent sensitization campaign, charged Nigerians to participate in the electoral process.
This is home, and whatever goes on in this country, I need to be involved and shape this country for every one of us.
With the Liberal Democrats in the coalition government alleging the Conservatives plan to cut welfare and benefits, which David Cameron has denied, could this be a deciding factor for Nigerians in this election? Conservative, Labour and Liberal Democrats also addressed the Nigerian community in one of the Nigerian newspapers published fortnightly in the UK on reasons they should be voted for, as the UK faces the closest and most unpredictable general elections in memory on May 7th. In London, Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye, NTA News.
Lagos is our first port of call on Nationwide, and Ademola Adeoye is standing by to tell us more on fuel situation, among other stories. It's over to you, Ademola.
Thank you, Ifeanyi. Good afternoon and welcome to Lagos. In spite of the distribution of fuel in some parts of the Lagos metropolis over the weekend, residents and commuters have continued to grapple with long queues at filling stations to purchase the commodity. Mozatolia reports on its impact on social and economic activities in the state.
Most fuel stations across the metropolis still have long queues and the attendant chaotic activities of buyers of the commodity. For those who could not engage in a struggle for fuel, they just remain on the queue and wait patiently for their turn. Consequently, commercial bus drivers in Lagos State have increased their fares by 50 to 100%, depending on the situation they meet at fuel stations.
We are carrying 800 naira a year to body 2 months because of the fuel scarcity. That's why some people fear to enter the motor.
Me sef, I no be work. I go park motor. Like 3 days. I go park motor.
Some filling station I dey sell for motor. As on my own self, na can inside the can I dey buy my fuel.
Our passengers now are complaining because before we dey carry them 15 naira, but now it's 100 naira.
We are going to Korodula. We are paying 300 naira.
Those who take passengers from Lagos State to other parts of the country have worse tales to tell.
Lagos now to Calabar. Before was 4,000, now it's 6,000 because of fuel.
These respondents say her business is stagnated due to inability to purchase fuel to power her generating set.
Our clients do not want to know whether it's fuel scarcity or not.
The important thing is to have a new refineries, repair the one that is available and let that one function.
The fuel situation has also resulted in less vehicular traffic witnessed in some parts of the metropolis, except where long queues at filling stations spill into the roads to slow down movements. In Lagos, Musa Tolial, NTA News.
The Executive Director for the United Nations Population Funds Agency has emphasized the need to increase access to sexual reproductive health service and development for women and children in the country. He stated this in Lagos at a press briefing on situation of the recently rescued girls from Sambisa Forest. Lynn Lenike has the details.
The United Nations Population Fund Agency's investigations revealed that a sizable number of the recently rescued girls from Sambisa Forest in Borno State are visibly pregnant. The executive director of the agency, Dr. Babatunde Oshotimehin, noted that the girls and women have undergone various kinds of molestation which has affected them psychologically. He said the agency and the federal government have put in place a formidable team that will support the girls with various levels of treatment to stabilize them.
Domestic violence is probably the biggest problem in terms of what we deal with around the world. Now, police and the judicial system, just treat it as that's the domestic violence. Go and solve the problem. In the last 5 years, the visibility around gender-based violence and domestic violence has gone up considerably. Most of them are pregnant and are supporting the government to provide kids safe delivery hospitals. Girls also coming out of school
The United Nations Population Fund Agency is saddled with the responsibility of supporting countries in using population data for policies and programs to reduce poverty. The organization is also an advocate of the right of mothers to safe delivery. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The federal government has been called upon to ensure that the country's embassies across the world have a database for all Nigerians outside the country so as to closely monitor their activities and cater to their security and well-being. Members of the United Nigerians in the Diaspora made this known at a press briefing in Lagos with particular emphasis on the killings of Nigerians involved in drug trafficking in Indonesia. Olajide Bello has the details.
The need for the federal government to redouble its commitment towards ensuring the security and well-being of lives and property of Nigerians in diaspora has again been brought to the fore. This is coming on the heels of the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa and the capital punishment meted out to Nigerians condemned for drug trafficking in Indonesia. It is in view of this that some members of United Nigerians in diaspora are calling on the federal government to be more concerned about the well-being of Nigerians in diaspora.
What we are appealing for, the government of Nigeria at least should take time, study what we are saying today. Come and see the plight of people living in abroad
We know perhaps what we are doing today might not overhaul or change the whole situation or even make the government to listen. But however, we have to hamper. We have to continue to push. We have to say it for those who will listen to continue to listen.
With 7 Nigerians involved in drug trafficking executed so far, the president of UNAID says 8 more Nigerians are on the next execution list.
We have 8 names written down. Then we have 2 people too. There are 10. 2 of them, they are in small islands, small prison. We have not gotten the name yet, but we are working on that too.
UNAID also used the medium to appeal to Nigerian youth in the diaspora to shun the get-rich-quick syndrome and beware of the kind of friends they keep as well as activities they engage in. In Lagos, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The universal basic education is designed to eradicate illiteracy, ignorance, and poverty, as well as accelerate national development. This objective is far from being met, despite efforts by the federal government towards the policy framework. To this end, a project on governance of basic education in Nigeria has kicked off in Lagos. Jane Ojukwu was at a media briefing by Human Development Initiative.
Poor governance, corruption, and lack of accountability have been identified as some of the factors responsible for the ineffectiveness of the universal basic education in Nigeria. To reverse this trend, communities are charged to be proactive by holding the state and local governments accountable for the provision of the necessary infrastructure for enhanced access and qualitative education.
Communities who feel distant from education is a government project, so they may have not sent the students to school, but we feel that if we own the projects, if committed to it, then they will to make demands as to deficiencies in education from the government, and they will to also send their children to school. So it's a question of collaboration.
The project is expected to run for 4 years between 2014 and 2019 in Lagos, Enugu, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory.
The oversight needs to be stronger. You know, we need to throw some openness into what is going on. There are places where primary schools are almost virtually non-functional. So we need to put such lights. The media also needs to help. When we begin to put these things in the public domain, the affected states will not only be embarrassed, it will be clear what they are denying their own children of.
The project is spearheaded by Human Development Initiatives in collaboration with the United States Agency for International Development and other non-governmental organizations. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
And that does it from Lagos. It's back to you, Ifeanyi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Many thanks, Ademola. The Marji victims of insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria are eager to return home following the restoration of peace in the areas. To give them succor in their devastated communities, the Kamir Marji women launched a 500 million naira appeal in Abuja. Correspondent Uche Nwizu reports.
11-year-old Christina Ayuba laments the fate of many Marji people, especially children who the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast has left orphans and devastated. With the recent success of the Nigerian army in restoring peace in the areas, many residents are agitating to return home. In the spirit of brotherliness, the Chamir Margi Women Development Association launched appeal for material and financial assistance for the victims.
We want to cry to the public, well-meaning Nigerians, to come to our aid, to help us, so that we can get food for them, we can get clothing for them, and buy drugs, and then train them to heal them psychologically.
Every Nigerian must have that heart, that motherly touch to reach out and support these people.
We will have to contribute our own quota, but the bulk of the assistance will come from the government at all the tiers.
The Margi people have not forgotten their rich culture despite the tragedy they went through. NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has officially handed over 275 women and children rescued from insurgents in Sambisa Forest to the National Emergency Management Agency for rehabilitation. The final handover ceremony was performed in Yola, the Adamawa State capital, from where correspondent Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
The 275 women and children are said to be the first set rescued by the military during its operation against insurgents in Sambisa Forest. The rescued women and children who arrived Yola by road from Sambisa under tight security were looking haggard and dejected, which might not be unconnected with the trauma they passed through. On arrival, most of them, especially the small children, were looking sick and hungry. As such, some of them could not even stand. This situation necessitated the Nema officials to rush and give them warm water before they were given solid food, while the sick ones were being attended to at the camp clinic, and those with serious cases were referred to the Federal Medical Center Yola. Performing the handover on behalf of the Nigerian Army, Commander 23 Brigade Yola, Colonel A.B.A. Popola, said the Nigerian Army is more than ever before ready to fight insurgency to its conclusion. Receiving the rescued persons on behalf of NEMA, its Director Search and Rescue, Charles Otibade, appreciated efforts of the Army in trying to bring to an end activities of insurgents in the country. He assured that NEMA and its sister agencies will work towards rehabilitating the rescued persons before going back to their towns and villages. Some of the women who are said to have stayed more than 5 months with the insurgents in the forest said they have suffered series of maltreatment such as battering and hunger. They, however, confirmed that the insurgents have not tempered with their dignity as women. Lamia Musa, a nursing mother who put to bed on the day the military struck the Sambisa Forest, narrates her experience. In Yola, Muhammad Saidu, NTA News.
Investigations are still ongoing on the Gambaru market fire in Maiduguri on Sunday. Goods and valuables worth millions of naira were destroyed in the inferno. Correspondent Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
The fire, according to business owners in Gambaru market, started around past 1 o'clock in the morning of Sunday. Businesses that were hitherto thriving in the market have been badly affected as the inferno has reduced shops and goods to debris, leaving the owners in a state of despair.
Up to 2,500 traders lost their businesses to the fire disaster. We need financial assistance from government.
Items like foodstuff, clothing materials and other commodities valued at millions of naira have been destroyed. Tribe Pepper Sellers Association in the market, whose chairman Babagana Modu told NTA News of a similar fire disaster they suffered 3 years ago, said the victims were not assisted either by the state or federal government except Shehu of Borno, who gave them 1 million naira, which they used to start all over until this disaster, which he said is another setback.
We now join our Makudi Network Center as residents react to NIMET prediction. Susan guides us on this and other stories from that center. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Ifeanyi, and welcome to Makudi. The Borno State Police Command says it has arrested 5 persons in connection with a crisis that occurred at the welfare quarters area situated along Makudi-Alede Road on Saturday morning. Correspondent Tina Uma has the report.
Members of the community had trooped out in large numbers at welfare quarters area, a suburb of Makudi, the Benue State capital, and were arresting persons whom they suspected to be cultists that have been terrorizing their area.
Imagine our little ones are being harassed. If you dress very well, they will call you, beat you, collect your phone, and get your money.
Also affected was the palace of Te Makodi, Chief Sule Abenga, where vehicles were smashed and parts of the compound damaged by the irate youths. The paramount ruler, Chief Sule Abenga, expressed surprise at the action, while the caretaker chairman of Makurdi local government area, Mr. Linus Chobave, called on security operatives to fish out those involved in the act.
I was taken unaware. I had no idea. Nobody had come to me to inform me or any wrongdoing or whatever.
This is not what we will fold our hands and allow it to go. All the people involved, I have charged the security people to go and get them and bring them to book.
The police public relations officer of the Benue State Police Command, Austin Eziani, says the act carried out by the youth is barbaric, stressing that those found wanting will be dealt with appropriately.
We want to appeal to the members of the public, especially the parents and the elders in that area, to always call their children to order. They should not use wrong to right wrong.
What the security agents are saying is that if there's any alleged armed robber, criminal, suspected cultist, or anybody with nefarious activities lurking around your neighborhood, you should quickly report that person to the nearest security agent's office or police station. Then the person will be apprehended and dealt with in the appropriate manner. From the police headquarters office here in Makurdi, I am Tena Uma, NTA News.
Members of the public have appealed to various stakeholders to ensure that policy statements and programs are given adequate publicity, particularly at the rural areas, for effective attainment of desired results. They said this while reacting to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET's prediction on shortage of rainfall and a possible increase in the breeding of insects that will affect human health. Correspondent Elias Itia reports that most people are unaware of the implications of the predictions.
NIMET predicts that temperature patterns, rainfall conditions are likely to favor fast breeding of mosquitoes, flies, and other diseases. This, according to predictions, will give way to high prevalence of malaria, dengue fever, cholera, and other diseases in the site.
Weather and climate play significant roles in the outbreak and spread of diseases in the society. Mosquitoes, as agents of malaria, for example, find a conducive breeding environment where there is little amount of rainfall, which consequently results to isolated pockets of stagnant water. This development brings to mind NIMET's prediction on the shortage in the 2015 seasonal rainfall prediction, characterized by late onset and early cessation of rains as well as warmer conditions. The question is, how much are members of the public aware of this prediction and the impending consequences on human health?
Not even aware of the prediction. Definitely, I will call for a mass mobilization and awareness creation.
The public health sector of the ministry has to do much in this regard by creating more awareness for the people.
A medical expert, Dr. Berezi Amaitari, who decried the non-availability or lack of primary health care facilities in the rural areas, advised relevant stakeholders to ensure proper hygiene practices as possible remedy.
Like the mass vaccination to prevent meningitis, and at the same time, this use of mosquito nets.
NIMET's 2015 prediction calls for a multi-sectoral approach to tackle the multi-sectoral implications. In Makurdi, Elias Itia, NTA News.
Normalcy has now returned to the Makurdi modern market following the disruption of its peace by a syndicate that allegedly extorts money from unsuspecting traders in the name of union activities. Correspondent Bem Hanya reports that business activities at the market were disrupted following its shutting down by the syndicate.
On Friday morning, a large crowd of would-be buyers at the Makurdi Modern Market were stranded as a result of the closure of shops at the market by a group of persons who say they are the Traders Union. When contacted, the Commissioner for Commerce and Industries, Mr. Tefa Atozahindan, whose ministry oversees the market, said that government does not recognize the said union at the market, describing it as a syndicate which parades itself as a union. He said they have acquired some shops at the market over time and are involved in subletting same to unsuspecting traders, thereby denying government of the much-needed revenue.
For this number of shops that we have ascertained and have collected from this cabal that owned, a cabal of 21 people owned all the shops in the market. And they were subletting it. We have it on record. We have their names.
The commissioner, who described the action of the group as illegal, enjoined members of the public and traders to go about their lawful business at the market without fear of molestation or intimidation, adding that members of the group have agreed in writing not to disrupt the peace of the market while investigation into the matter is still on. When NTA News visited the market, there was an atmosphere of peace and calm in the area. In Makudi, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
And that's it from Makudi. It's back to Ifeanyi in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Thanks, Susan. Over 50 men and women living with disability have benefited from a skill acquisition program organized by the Rotary Club of Gwarimpa, District 9125, Abuja. A water borehole was also commissioned as part of the water and sanitation goal, inclusive in the mandate of the club. Aisha Bali reports.
1,000 people with disability live in this community, popularly known as Karamajiji Disabled Colony here in Abuja. This colony, though, has a well-erected school for children, however, it still lacks something, and that is a primary health care center. One of the residents says quite a number of them are polio survivors. Water remains key in meeting sanitation targets as well as reducing the spread of diseases such as polio.
The environment is not conducive for those people who are disabled. Talk of basic needs, health, water, anything you do. See the contraption of the corrugated zinc. This is a beehive of activity for diseases.
The organizers believe the program will enable these people live a better life.
And you see there are other disabilities here. So we bring that to make sure that their lives become more meaningful. Disability is just one thing, it's a matter of the mind.
Use it to make more money for themselves, and then we also connect them to the areas where they can get these things cheaply so that they can use to make money. So that's the whole essence. We want them to be empowered.
Sandra Godwin is a weightlifting athlete, a one-time second best in a trial competition for the 2013 Paralympic World Games. She lives in this colony. She's multi-talented. Sandra expressed her joy, though she said there is need to encourage athletes living with disability.
Very nice, very good. We like it, especially me. It's near my house. I can come and fresh water time I like.
The skills, among others, include bead, soap and paint making, basket weaving, as well as sewing. Nigerians have been called to support government efforts in assisting the less privileged of the society. In Abuja, Aisha Obali, NTA News.
Tourism is a money-spinning venture anywhere in the world, and many countries are harnessing tourism sites in their countries to develop the sector. Nigeria is blessed with so many tourism sites that, if well harnessed, will turn around the fortunes of the nation. One of such sites is the Gurara Waterfalls, located in Niger State. Correspondent Patricia Philip Bedai tells us more.
Waterfalls is geographically located along the Suleja-Mina Road. It is about 90 minutes drive from the nation's capital city. The waterfalls, which was first discovered by a hunter in 1745, has its source from Kachia in Kaduna State. It joins River Niger in Kogi State.
After discovering the waterfall, the villagers of this community used the waterfall for sacrificial purpose. But the sacrifice started to diminish once some Europeans discovered the place as a recreational center. Gurara got its name from a shrine that our chief priest from Bono community that used to worship. These shrines are named Gura and one is Gurara, so they become Gurara.
The waterfalls, in its unique nature, attracts people within and outside the country who visit there to enjoy the gift of nature.
The waterfalls are lovely, and I had a swim also, that's why I look like this, and the water was very warm. And compared to the waters I've been, I come from -5 degrees in Stockholm, so it's really nice to actually swim outdoors this time of year.
I've been visiting Gurara since I was little. This is something different. This is nature. This is beautiful. It's one of our tourism destinations in Nigeria.
I like the place. It's where you come to interact with nature, you understand? So I like the environment.
I have to bring the children here so that they will be able to differentiate between the abstract and the real thing of life.
However, it is believed that the government has failed to tap the potentials of this nature's gift to man.
The challenge is facing the waterfall now is lack of the movement. When you are coming down, you see the movement, the road you come down is rocky. So it needs to be built up, and many people would like to pass their weekends to sleep, but there's no place to sleep.
I just say government should do something more to attract this place, to make this place to be more attractive, and even for them to generate revenue.
The beauty of the waterfalls is at its peak in the months of April to November and low between December and March. In Abuja, Patricia Philip Medai, NTA.
Let's pause for some messages now. Nationwide will be back shortly. Do stay with us.
That was the time. Yes, Hotel Du Horizon has rebranded with upgrade of their facilities. Guests and visitors to Hotel Du Horizon are certainly in for an amazing good time. Located in a very serene environment with a crop of well-trained personnel, Hotel Du Horizon has tastefully and exquisitely furnished rooms and suites. Host your events at our fully air-conditioned, multi-purpose, pillar-free banquet hall. Enjoy our exclusive continental and national delicacies. Have relaxing moments at our state-of-the-art Fijat poolside bar and grill, opened 24 hours daily. Let us take the stress off you. Take advantage of our excellent outdoor catering services for all your events. Hotel Du Horizon, situated at Plot 5, Candy Close, Wusetu, Abuja.
Setting agenda for the 8th National Assembly is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, incisive, informative, enlightening and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
Are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Good to have you back. Enugu lawmakers serve impeachment notice on Governor Chime. This and more from our Enugu Network Center with Chinyere.
Thank you, Ifeanyi, and welcome to Enugu. The Enugu State House of Assembly in the early hours of today resolved to serve Governor Sullivan Chime an impeachment notice. The House, presided over by the Speaker, Eugene Odo, said the governor was being served the impeachment notice for alleged financial misconduct.
The premises of the Enugu State House of Assembly. As early as 3:30 a.m. this morning, some journalists were called by some members of the House inviting them to the House. And the question was, what could be the reason why some members of the House would be at the House of Assembly as early as that? The House alleged that the governor forged the 2012 supplementary bill. The 15 members also accused the governor of inflating the contract for the construction of the state secretariat.
This House do approve that impeachment notice be served on him forthwith. Those in favor say ayes. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
3 members of the House were also suspended for what the members described as anti-House activities. Just as the 15 members were leaving the premises, the other group, made up of 9 members, went into the House for their own sitting. After protocols, they recalled the 3 members who were suspended and thereafter called for the suspension of the Speaker and some principal officers of the House.
The following members be suspended effective immediately. Those in favor that the following members be suspended say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
A new Speaker in the person of Chinedu Nwamba from Nsoka East was sworn in. The Speaker and other principal officers were also stripped of their official paraphernalia. Surprisingly, both sittings had 2 different mays. How the 2 mays came about remained a puzzle. From Enugu, James Oparikocha, NTA News.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, has donated a Toyota Hiace bus, cash and 10 desktop computers to the Ebonyi State University for the advancement of academic excellence. Chinenye has details of this report.
The receipts and keys of the 18-seater Toyota Hiace bus to the Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences of the university. The Deputy President of the Senate said it's in fulfillment of promises made to the faculty at the last convocation of the school.
In appreciation of the academic excellence of not just the faculty but the Ebonyi State University, all their effort to give our people good education.
The wife of the Deputy President of the Senate, Dr. Nwaneka Ekweremadu, also handed over to the Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences, the sum of 2 million naira and 10 desktop computers donated to the school by the Enugu State Governor-elect, Chief Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. The Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences, appreciated Senator Ekweremadu and Chief Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi for the gifts. He applauded Dr. Nwaneka Ekweremadu for the dedication to her studies, which made her emerge as the best graduating doctorate degree student.
This period is ICT period, and we also need mobility, and we also need money to do all these things, and all these things have been provided by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekweremadu.
The event attracted personalities from within and outside Enugu. In Enugu, Chinenye, NTA News.
The Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Boboye Oyeyemi, has charged officers and men of the commission to step up their operations to reduce carnage on Nigerian highways. Chinyere FRSC Okoye reports that he gave a charge during a visit to Anambra State Sector Command.
The Co-Marshal, who was accompanied by the acting Zonal Commanding Officer RS5 Benin Crawford Oti, said he wants to see appreciable improvements in FRSC operations in the zone. He emphasized on the need to check overloading, overspeeding, and other causes of road traffic crashes across Nigeria.
And what we have seen nationwide is increase in overloading and use of phone-while driving and route violations, lane violations. These are very critical issues, and we must face our operations now.
Commanding officers and men of Anambra State Sector Command, for their commitment to duty, Mr. Oyeyemi reminded them of the need to do more, as the command has all it takes to work more effectively and efficiently. Meanwhile, Anambra State Sector Command has organized an intensive training for drivers of security agencies and those working in various ministries in the state as part of its commitment towards creating a safer environment. From Oka, Chinyere FRSC Okoye, NTA News.
Stigmatization against patients suffering from epilepsy was a central discourse in a 2-day sensitization workshop held in Enugu. Amaka Owo completes the report.
Is one of the most common neurological conditions that causes repeated seizures or convulsions due to brain problem. But unfortunately, over 80% of people with epilepsy do not receive treatment and as a result suffer other problems. Anti-Epilepsy Foundation, in partnership with St. Joseph's Catholic Church, embarked on a free treatment and sensitization program to alleviate the plight of people who suffer the disease.
If the society is aware that epilepsy is not contagious, that the saliva or the spittle that comes out of their mouth during an attack or seizure is not contagious,
that they have been segregated against, they are ashamed of themselves, and the relations are ashamed of their relations who are sick.
Medical experts, including a consultant physician, gave an insight on causes, treatment, and effective management of the disease.
Cases, it may be cured, some treatable, many other cases, well, you just manage to control the seizures.
Participants at the event say the knowledge gained will bring about an improvement in the condition of patients. Organizers of the event also appealed for a health system by government that will provide a better response to the treatment and management of epilepsy. In Enugu, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
And that report concludes our package from here. It's back to you, Ifeanyi.
Thank you, Chinyere. Islamic knowledge is fundamental to every Muslim to succeed in this world and the hereafter. This was stressed by Ustaz Sharafuddin Aliagan, guest speaker at a fundraising for the construction of Ansar Islam Society Islamia. Correspondent Hakimat Aliu, who was there, now reports.
The gathering was to pray and solicit for the support of guests and members who are able to contribute to the construction and establishment of the Ansar Islam Society's Islamia, which will provide a conducive learning environment for Islamic and Western education. A project, members say, is very dear to their hearts.
Apart from building a mosque, what is most important and part of worship is to build an Islamic school.
And for the society to be embarking on this project is helping to contribute to the concerted effort of the federal government of Nigeria and the universe at large to ensure we engage our children ourselves in the seeking for knowledge.
An Abuja-based Islamic scholar, Ustaz Sharafuddin Aliago, who was also the guest speaker, spoke on the significance of seeking knowledge in Islam. He said the project is apt and appealed to all to support generously to get Allah's abundant reward.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked Muslims to spread, to be generous to the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah can take away wealth from the wealthy ones at any point in time without any information. So each and every one should know that that wealth, that money, Allah has put in their custody and they have to spend it judiciously, otherwise it will vanish.
While appreciating the goodwill of the people, the association said the project is another way of bringing Muslims closer to their Creator. In Abuja, Hakimat Adu, NTA News.
Time to join Mariam in our Jos Network Center. Top on their lineup, University Dawn raises concern over near collapse of university. Over to you, Mariam.
Hello and welcome to Jos. The near collapse of the Nigerian university system is said to be a threat to the nation's peace and security. A University Dawn professor, Etanibi Alemika, said this at a lecture series to mark the 40th anniversary of the University of Jos. Correspondent Paul Dama reports.
The lecture, titled Security Crisis and the Nigerian University System, highlighted the concept and practice of security, contemporary security crisis in Nigeria, sources of insecurity and their impact on Nigerian universities, as well as how to reform Nigerian universities, among other issues. Professor Etanibi Alemika, who identified sources of insecurity in Nigerian universities to include internal and external forces, said security and insecurity are rooted in the socio-cultural, political and economic structures of society. The vulnerability of Nigerian universities, the scholar added, is due to a number of factors which include widespread insecurity in the society, decline in intellectual discourse and commitment, the falling standard of hostel facilities and administration, and erosion of values, all of which, he says, have negative impact on the educational system.
There is a direct correlation between the level of your cosmopolitan character and the quality of your university. So keep deceiving yourself. You cannot improve the University of Nigeria, universities in Nigeria, until you go back to the cosmopolitan character of universities.
Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Hayward Mafue, noted that the changing security landscape of the country needs engagement by intellectuals by way of research. Chairman of the occasion, General John Temlong, said in view of the fact that security has become a daunting challenge to security agents, Nigerians must imbibe the highest level of security awareness.
But weapons, light arms and small weapons that are in the hands of non-state actors are more than those that are in the hands of those who are supposed to hold. We want to specifically consider the use of just body being one of the 10 Nigerian universities and one of the 17 or 19 in the whole of the Central and West Africa that got the World Bank African Center of Excellence.
In Jos, Paul Dama, NTA News.
As Nigeria awaits the transition to another democratically elected government, Bauchi State Governor Isa Yuguda has embarked on commissioning of projects across the state. Correspondent Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports that the governor called on beneficiaries to maintain the facilities for maximum services.
With less than a month to the beginning of another dispensation, the present administration in Bauchi State has continued to commission projects that include 1,700 seats capacity lecture theatres at the Bauchi State University main campus in Gadau, 10 housing unit staff quarters at Misau campus of the university, as well as inspection of facilities and ongoing projects in all the campuses of the university.
Here that it is about the best university today in Nigeria in terms of facilities and equipment, including, of course, the teaching staff. So everything appears to be in place. There are so many faculties that are coming up.
Also, Governor Isa Yuguda commissioned the renovated and upgraded Misau General Hospital in Misau local government. With initial capacity of 110 beds, the hospital has been upgraded to 350 bed capacity under the 2013 MDG's conditional grant scheme. Equipped with state-of-the-art healthcare facilities, the hospital is one of the biggest in Bauchi State. Also in Zaki local government, the newly constructed Zaki General Hospital was commissioned. The hospital has 110 bed capacity and facilities that will cater for the health needs of the people in the area. The governor also commissioned the Azare substation of the Bauchi Radio Corporation BRC. The station has a 20 kilowatts transmitter. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed, NTA News.
And that's a wrap from this end. Ifeanyi, it's back to you.
Mariam there with reports from our Jos Center. Nigerian Flying Eagles in Germany are ahead of FIFA World Cup as Juventus hosts Real Madrid in UEFA Champions semis. Amanzi Marcos reports.
African champions Nigerian Flying Eagles landed in Nuremberg, Germany on Sunday morning for a training camp where the coaches will fine-tune their strategies ahead of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand later this month. 26 players made the trip to Germany, including 4 goalkeepers, 7 defenders, 8 midfielders and 7 strikers. Matija Pekotic of Croatia is winner of the ITA Futures tennis competition, which ended weekend at the Package B section of the Abuja National Stadium. Pekotic in blue defeated Dayton Bauman of the USA 6-3, 6-4 in the singles final to earn the $15,000 prize money.
Thank you, Nigerians.
The best Nigerian athlete in the competition, Michael Moses, was ousted in the quarterfinals, but the acting director general of the National Sports Commission, Alhassan Yakmut, said there are more opportunities for Nigerian tennis players.
It was worth the class of the tournament we saw, and I'm very happy that 6 Nigerians were able to get place ranking points in this tournament.
The ultimate is that our players
get to the highest level where they can rank within the first 20.
Juventus and Real Madrid, two of club football's heavyweight teams, have appeared in 20 European Cup finals between them. That tally will go up to 21 this season as they meet in the semi-finals of the Champions League, with the first leg being played in Turin on Tuesday evening. Juventus lead the Italian Serie A with 79 points from 34 matches, while Real Madrid, the UEFA Champions League defending champions, are second in La Liga with 85 points from 35 matches. With Sports News Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
And that concludes NTA Nationwide. There will be more reports at 7 and Network News at 9. Thanks for watching.